The guide will assume that you know like basic Vlad mechanics, you know Vlad abilities. If you don't, then this guide is not really for you. The guide will be covering all playstyles, all setups, my views and everything. So first we'll begin with myself, of course. I've been Challenger, peaked it for 5 seasons now. I'm very proud of it, right here. I probably have like over 5,000 Vlad games, maybe even like 10,000, I don't know. Too many to count. What made me a Vlad main? I hated playing against people who like just play really safe and then you lose. Because I was like a Zed Yasuo Talon like 3 trick in like season 3, season 4, season 5. And I thought, fuck that shit, dude. I'm going to play safe and I'm going to just win because I exist. If the game goes on longer, it's a higher chance of me winning. So I just keep on farming, and eventually people will walk into me and they die and I win the game. That's how I do it. It also comes with downsides playing Vlad, that you are really fucking piss weak early game. And even if you are strong early game, you still don't want to participate in fights because that's going to make you weak because you're not farming. You always have to be farming on this champion. So I've talked a little bit about the mindset things. You really need to just have a mindset of steel. And Stoicism helps a lot with that, because in Stoicism you recognize that some things are in your control and some things are completely out of your control. Like what's in your control? Only how you can play the game. You will encounter people and it's easier to like actually see the people when you expect them to be shit and you expect them to not have any like skill or anything. And I also realized that this is out of my control. So why would I waste any of my precious brain power and precious effort on getting mad at some guy that's not even like in my control, right? What's the point of that? Literally no reason. So Stoicism is really OP for this kind of stuff. And once you realize what is in your control and what is out of your control, it makes playing Vladimir a lot easier as well. Because you just ignore the people that go 0-20. And there are games, especially like games that I had recently on my OPG, that looked completely doomed. Like absolutely doomed. This one right here. The game started off with the jungler going like 0-5. We had, I don't know which import this is, but it's like one of the LNG players. And he went like so bad in laning phase. But I kept my cool, I just chilled. I farmed, I was really consistent, and we somehow won the game. That's the games you will win by like having good mindset like this. Just realizing that other people are just full of emotions, you know? Like you can't really blame them for being mad when they're full of emotions, especially because like you've probably been in that situation too. There's no way that you have not like been pissed at somebody for running it down, right? So he's literally just fucking emotional. I am the kind of guy that if someone types shit at me, I will be really like disturbed for the rest of the game. So I just have everyone muted. Pings are not that bad because I know that people are just emotional. But in my mind, if someone like types shit at me and flames me, I'm like, bro, you don't even want to play the game. So like, what's the point? So I just end up muting them. But it just depends what kind of person you are, you know? I get people spamming, you mute them. It's as simple as that, right? So we go over the primary setups, which is Electrocute, Phase Rush, and Predator. And the like minor setups are Summoner Spellbook and Conqueror. You like only go those in like very niche situations. Runes are really like playstyle based. There are people who just always go Electrocute Vlad and they get cock and ball torture when they play against Orianna. And that's just how it is. People like doing that. But I like adapting, and I think it's best to adapt. Unless like there's just one rune that's really broken, such as Predator right now. There are, like I said, a shit ton of Vlad players that just go one thing, and they like also reach high elo. So it's not like you can't make it by playing just one thing, but I think it's like really matchup dependent and stuff. Yeah, those Vlad players, they never come close to the elo that I reach, which is funny. I don't really think it's like that hard playing Vlad. It's just like you need to follow a certain like rules. So we'll start with Electrocute. Electro is really, really fucking good into melee champions. It is definitely the best keystone that you can take into melee champions, because you can get full like use of Electrocutes because you trade a lot with them and they come into your range a lot. You can make full use of Taste of Blood. You use it almost like off cooldown, so it's a shit ton of healing, a shit ton of damage. If you don't go Electrocute like into these champions, it'll be really, really hard to play. And if you go Electrocute into these champions, it's really easy. So it makes a huge difference, like beyond huge difference. If I play versus a really good Yasuo with Electrocute, I will like 9 times out of 10 confidently say that I can beat him. If I play this matchup with like, I don't know, Phase Rush and no Ignite, it's really hard. Insanely difficult. Also an Ingenious Hunter with Predator, I think it's really shit. It's not like you will ever in a fight use Zhonya's or Protobelt or Predator 2 times. You will always have them off cooldown in a fight. And Relentless Hunter is just too OP not to take, because Predator gives you 60% amplified move speed. The way move speed works in League is that the amplification, or the percentage, amplifies the flat amount you get. So the 60% amplifies the 5 plus 8 per stack speed that you get from Relentless, which is really insane. What about Airy? We'll leave that keystone to the Chinese masters. We don't talk about that. Thoughts on Celerity? It's pretty good, but I think Transcendence is really busted. So you mentioned earlier that there is a certain set of rules that you follow with Vlad. If you think of a maybe top 3 or top 5 important rules you follow, what would they be? Play really selfish. Like really selfish. Always prioritize yourself, like farming. Really important. Just keep farming all game long, like even after 10 minutes, always. And lastly, some games are just unwinnable and you just have to accept that. That's how it is. If you don't accept that, it's going to be really rough for your mindset. But yeah, like I was saying, Electrocute is really horrible into champions that you can't proc it consistently against, like Syndra, Xerath, Orianna. Like, if you fight these champions, they will ass fuck you. If you trade auto hit for auto hit with Orianna, you will be fucked. That's how you get fucked in Orianna matchup. Orianna is really hard, but if she only uses abilities to harass you, she will go out of mana eventually. Like first back, she will go out of mana. But if you trade auto hit for auto hit, and she doesn't have to use mana to harass you, that's when you are going down. That's when you're really fucked. So you gotta play really safe like that. If you take Electrocute into these champions, I will come to your house and take a shit in your toilet. A really big one. So just take it versus melee champions. Matchups where Resolve Secondary is for scaling is worth it. I'm assuming it's mages in general, Xerath specifically. It's almost never worth it because you can just go TP instead. Going Resolve Secondary is like putting a bandage on a arm that's been amputated, you know? So with the Electrocute setup, you always want to go Electrocute, Taste of Blood, Power Ward, and Ravenous Hunter. You can go other runes than Ravenous Hunter, but I really like Ravenous Hunter with this build. You for sure want to go Transcendence and Nimbus Cloak. Transcendence specifically because with Electrocute you have like really low CDR, so the ability haste that you get is really high value. And also the way Transcendence work, I think it's like after level 11 or 12, you get like cooldown refunded on abilities on kills. And a lot of times in team fights, your pool will be really long cooldown without CDR. It'll be like, I don't know, 15 seconds cooldown, 12 seconds cooldown. Yeah, like a level 11. So if you like say, I don't know, level 11, flash into the enemy backline, one-shot the ADC and like mid laner because they're both squishy, while you are in pool, the pool cooldown will go down by like 4 seconds because you have Transcendence. And then you can chain it with like a Zhonya's, and then you instantly have pool up again after your Zhonya's. So it's really, really like nice like that. How to use Power Ward? Just how you use every regular ward. You just don't want to like change out your ward. Like the earliest you can get it like consistently is like around 13 minutes, 33 AP, but that's really like unrealistic. It's around like 20 minutes latest. Just slap it down and, you know, use the wards off cooldown. Don't ever like let it go 2 out of 2. When build Zions instead of Cosmic, every game, like you see in my build path here, Cosmic Drive is only like situational. I don't think it's that good. I think about Spirit Savage Vlad instead of Banshees, I think it's horrible. You're missing out on like 80 AP. You will feel like shit if you buy it. So yeah, your build is start Dark Seal, always. Maybe into like Zed, someone who takes like Ignite. You want to go D-Ring, because then the like extra sustain you get from D-Ring is really, really valuable. Because there are situations when you play against Zed where he sips all 3 of his like potions and you sip 2 of your refillable potions, and then you're going to be like 300 HP and Zed's going to be like 400 or 500 HP, and you will feel really awkward. You can't walk up to the wave to sustain even more, so you're just drowning in the lane. In that situation, like having D-Ring, where you would get like extra 100 HP, feels really, really good. Magi's even when behind and lacking in gold. Magi's especially when you're behind and lacking gold, because that is like the only way to come back when you are really fucked. Just get lucky kills with Magi's. That's like the entire point. But yeah, if you just keep farming, your goal is just to flash on the backline and just one-shot anyone who you can. And if your flash is on cooldown, then just try peel for your ADC, or like just don't let anyone come close to you. The next setup is Phase Rush. I won't lie to you guys, Phase Rush really fucking sucks this season. The nerf hit insanely hard. It feels like shit to play. It feels like shit early game, feels like shit late game. Just feels overall horrible. I don't really go it very often. I would only ever go it if I go like Flash Ghost, really. You can go with Ignite. There's like a lot of players that like play like traditional Vlad, which when you used to just go Flash, Ignite, Phase Rush all the time. But I think the runes are really, really underwhelming. I think Sorcery Tree runes are the best for Vlad, but just Phase Rush just sucks, you know. I would only consider going Phase Rush really if you are like in a complete AFK farming matchup, or you are maybe like top lane Vlad, so you can like run away from these scary champions like Tryndamere and Nasus. But if you're a top lane Vladimir, yeah, I don't know. I don't have to say anymore, right? Phase Rush isn't really bad specifically against like long range mages and the mages that harass you, like that outrange you, like Cassio, Syndra. It's like good for dodging their skill shots. Like you proc Phase Rush and then you just run around them and you can dodge like these Q abilities, which is really critical. But at the same time, proccing Phase Rush makes you stand still for a little bit, and that's when they hit you, and then you are also fucked. So I think Phase Rush is just really, really like underwhelming this season. It's really horrible. Yeah, it's decent against like some melee champions like Echo, because they will like get their passive and run you down, so you can just run away. But even then, because Phase Rush is so piss nerfed this season, it's fucking horrible, dude. It's fucking shit. So I don't really recommend going Phase Rush, but if you are the kind of person who just loves it, you can still go it, you know. It's not completely bad. Still alright. Phase Rush setup, it's just very generic. It's the same as last season. Nimbus Cloak, Transcendence, Gathering Storm, just completely generic stuff. Secondary, you can mix it up a little bit, but I still like going Magical Footwear because the 10% flat move speed that you get is really nice. 300 gold. And Cosmic Insight is really nice for your summoners because that is really summoner spell reliant. I would honestly only ever play Flash and Ghost with Phase Rush. You can go all these summoners, but I really prefer just going Flash Ghost. Otherwise, it's really hard to play. But if you play Flash Ghost, you may as well go Spellbook, right? Because then at least you can benefit from having TP. Like the amount of move speed Phase Rush gives you right now is so underwhelming. And the like main reason you would want to have Phase Rush is because it gives you 75% slow resistance. So yeah, Magi's, if you want maximum carry potential, I don't think there's a single champion, maybe other than like LeBlanc and shit like that like can keep the stacks really well, or like Kassadin, that can keep Magi stacks as easily as Vlad. It's like a great item even without stacks because of the 5 flat pen, like I said earlier. Into pen boots, you can go CDR shoes if you're that kind of guy, but whenever I build whenever I build like CDR shoes, I always feel like I deal no damage, and it just feels like shit. With Phase Rush, you are like weaving in and out of fights non-stop. Like you're going in and out non-stop with Ghost as well. So the Cosmic Drive, move speed, and item haste synergizes with that a lot because you go in, combo, go out. Go in, combo, go out. So move speed and CDR is really good for that. That's why I don't really like going Deathcap second, because it's not really like you go in, burst, and that's it. It's like kind of like a battle mage kind of build. After that, you need Zhonya's, like I said earlier, into things like that have big AoE that you can't dodge. Maybe Rakan ult, Kennen ult, things like that. It's pretty good. If I had to mention small runes for Election and Phase Rush, oh shit, I'm sorry. Little boy runes, always adaptive HP outscales the other runes, like the defensive ones at like level 3. Especially on Vlad, because his passive gives you AP for HP, which is just great. So always that, always adaptive AP, and always CDR. Think in your mind, compare 9 AP to 9 AD that you get from adaptive runes, and think how unfair that is. You spend 435 gold for 20 AP, right? You spend 350 gold for 10 AD. So the value of the adaptive AP is a shit ton lower than on AP than it is on AD. That's why I like going the CDR shard. But yeah, for Phase Rush, the exact same runes. Exact same setup. Like I said, after these items, you also want to go Deathcap. That's when your like scaling becomes really accelerated, and that's pretty much covers Phase Rush. Next, we have the best rune in the entire game, and it's not Conqueror. It is Predator, as Hashinshin would like to tell you. It is good in pretty much every matchup. It's not bad into any matchup in the game. It has probably the best scaling in the game, even better than Phase Rush, because you get 30 AP from Power Ward. And you don't have to go Nimbus Cloak. It feels fucking amazing. You have good roaming potential. You have huge kill pressure on people. It is like insanely adaptive. You can go like it against Ignite players, TP players. You can go Ignite yourself. You can go Ghost. You can go anything you want. This rune is like fucking insane. It's really overbuffed. From what was it? 40% move speed to 60% move speed buff? Like, it's ridiculous. You can pop it in combat, you get move speed. There's a certain amount of cheeses that you can do as well with this rune. Like, you start boots, and then you just like pop Predator level 2 for a guaranteed empowered Q on people. This will fuck people up in Challenger as well. I promise you. I played against the Rise recently. Maybe people in my chat remember. He was trading really aggressive with me level 1. Level 2, I popped the Predator and I just killed his ass. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, no more ramp up as well. It's just instant 60% move speed. It's so good. It is by far the best rune. It is by far the best rune into players that like going Ignite. If someone doesn't have TP and you have TP Predator, you can already write GG in all chat. Because what you do is trade with them like there's no tomorrow, get as low as 200 HP, use all your potions, sip that Estus, become that Estus chugger, make them use their potions. They are like 400 HP. You could literally trade 500 HP for 200 enemy HP. Okay? Then you walk away, 300 gold, TP back to lane. And what does the Ignite player do? What does he do? You're full HP, full potions. And you have a tool that lets you get on top of him. Predator. Instantly off cooldown because you have boots. What does he do? He's fucked. He has to take a bad recall, or he has to die, or he has to get his support to come mid lane at like 3 minutes, which fucking sucks for him. Fucking sucks for your bot lane. So your bot lane wins the game. Or he gets the jungler to come mid at like 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 3 minute 15. Who spawns at 3:15, guys? Who is it? Oh, the Scuttle Crab. Mr. Krabby Patty spawns. Imagine the jungler, enemy jungler has to go mid lane and unfuck his mid lane friend. And your jungler is fine dining on gourmet Scuttle Crab. GG. GG jungle gap. GG, you just won the game on a late game champion early game. GG. Like I said earlier, Electrocute is by far the best rune into melee champions. So Predator doesn't feel that insanely good. Like let's say Predator is like 8 out of 10 against most champions. Like it's like 9 out of 10 against most champions. But Electrocute is 10 out of 10 against these melee champions. So you still want to go Electrocute into these champions. But into everything else that doesn't require Electrocute, you always want to go Predator. And even into these champions, you still can go Predator, because Taste of Blood is still really, really good. Taste of Blood is still fucking great into these champions, but it means that you won't consistently win your lane against these champions, or it's a lot harder. So that's what I recommend. So if you're against Syndra, Orianna, Cassio, anything like that, always go Predator. It's fucking broken. The setup is obviously Predator, Taste of Blood. Into maybe champions like Orianna, Syndra, you can go Sudden Impact. The fuck? Sudden Impact on Vlad? You don't even proc it, you don't got a dash. Proto Belt proc Sudden Impact. Flash proc Sudden Impact. Even TP procs Sudden Impact. So it's alright. Because sometimes you don't really get Taste of Blood value against like Syndra, Orianna, where you just like kind of have to take their dick in your mouth, you know? You just kind of have to. Always, always, always Power Ward. Really fucking OP. Always Relentless Hunter. If you are playing with TP Flash, which is like the best setup, you always start Unsealed. If you're playing against someone with Ignite, like I said earlier, you just trade really aggressively, then recall TP back to lane, and they are screwed. If you are playing against someone with TP as well, you just want to just keep farming and just chill. If you are a person who likes playing with Ignite, and Predator does really well with Ignite and Ghost, then start Boots, so you have Predator level 1. 4 potions is pretty inefficient, I don't like it, so just start Refillable and flex your 50 gold to your teammates, because you have 50 gold left over. With Predator, always rush Pen Boots. It's the most value, because like I said earlier, the way like move speed works in the league is that you get a shit ton of speed from the 60% amplification if you have a lot of flat move speed. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, always Gathering Storm and Transcendent Secondary. Usually, like when you play with Domination Tree primarily, you want to have like Nimbus Cloak, right? Because otherwise you feel like you're like born on a landmine. You feel fucking horrible. But with Predator, that gives you move speed, you really don't need Nimbus Cloak. And Nimbus Cloak Flash is nerfed to the fucking ground. It feels like shit to play with. And Nimbus Cloak TP is just trolling because you don't get Nimbus Cloak from TP anymore. So it's like really shit value from it. If you like to go really fast and you're just that crazy, you can go Water Walking and Celerity. Celerity gives you a shit ton of speed, and Water Walking makes you insanely fast in River. So if you are in like donkey fart bad matchup, like Rise or something, into Rise, you can just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna roam. Like if you are playing against Rise and top lane matchup is like Camille versus Jax, you know? Like really, really one-sided matchup. Whoever gets first kill just dominates the game. Or bot lane is like Kalista versus, I don't know, what's another early game bot lane? Kalista versus Draven, you know? And whoever gets first kill snowballs. You want to be the person who helps them. So these runes are pretty good into that. But it's a bit flip. It's a bit thinner. But it's still great. Still excellent. Yeah, so after Pen Boots, you want to go Polar Belts. And with Predator, I really recommend that you go Magi's every game. If you don't, you're a complete soy boy. Like, you're such a fucking soy milk drinker if you don't go Magi's. Because you can, like, with the base damage of Predator, really easily get stacks. And even if you're side laning and you, like, are really far away from team fights and you're just, like, chilling in Africa while, like, there's 4 people fighting in, like, top lane and your bot lane, side laning, you can just TP and use Predator and join that fight and get your stacks. It's so important that you get your Magi's. It's so important, because this item legit makes you just become Thanos. I really don't think there's anything you can do against a Predator TP Ghost or Predator TP fucking Flash Vlad with like 25 stacks. It's just game winning. Instantly game won. What small runes do you go offensive? Always HP, Adaptive AP, Scaling CDR. Or not Scaling CDR anymore, but like Ability Haste. But yeah, if you are feeling a little bit soy boy, you can go one of these defensive items, whichever you feel is best. Like I said, into like Fiddlesticks, Banshees is good. Into like everything in the game, Zhonya's is pretty good. After that, you want to go Deathcap. Deathcap amplifies your AP by a shit ton. And even if you buy it early game, you don't have much AP, right? Oh wait, you do. Because you are running Poro Ward and Gathering Storm. At 20 minutes, you have 54 AP from runes. 54, dude. What the fuck? amplified by death cap, that's like 70 or even more. I don't do math, I'm a streamer. But yeah, it's like 70 or more. And then like 30 minutes, you have over 100 AP. Just for free. Just like shut out of your ass. Do you ever sell medals for a different item if you're full build with enough gold and you lose stacks? That situation never happens to me. I play perfectly liquid. How exactly use Predator? I would struggle with it. If someone is in range, you pop it. There you go. That covers Predator setup. It's really OP. Really, really OP. I recommend going at every game. Next setup I will be explaining is Unsealed Spellbook. Would you rather go TP in low elos for more kill pressure? TP? You mean Ignite? But I don't know. I think TP is just busted, dude. And you should probably learn how to use it. Even if it's low elo, you will still win games. Are there late game situations where you go Cosmic Drive over Magi's? 6 items doesn't leave space for both. Doesn't leave space for both and defensive item. Oh, I see. I mean, it depends. You just sell your boots. If you're not playing Predator, you sell your boots for Cosmic Drive. And if you have over 10 Magi stacks, which you should have, then you have like almost 400 move speed anyways. So it's like way more than enough. If you have Predator, then I wouldn't really sell anything for Cosmic. Is Dark Harvest Vlad any good? No, it's shit. Thoughts on Trinity matchup? Unplayable. Mid lane, you outskill him at least. Top lane, it's unplayable. He will kill you. Can't play. Yeah, let's go. Spellbook setup. Spellbook is really, really specific. I have gone Spellbook into like every matchup, and it works well because into hard matchups, you can go Flash Ghost. You always go Flash Ghost with the setup, by the way. Into the really hard matchups, you can just go TP at 6 minutes when Spellbook unlocks, and around that time you can just TP back to lane if you are getting fucked, if the game is like unplayable. Spellbook is like I said, really good into TF, Galio, and Aurelian Soul against like heavy roaming champions that like to roam at like 530, which is like level 6 wave. If they don't get any XP denied, it's going to be a little bit later even. Or if they do get XP denied, I mean. Because at that time, your Spellbook will let you switch out your secondary summoner to TP, and then you can just TP bot lane instead. Or TP like whichever lane that the guy is roaming to. So especially good into that. The build is just generic, like phase rush, because it's the same setup where you just want to like weave in and out of fights, like phase rush. So you want to go Darksteel start, can go D-Ring as well, it's alright in this setup. Into Rocket Belts, into Magi's if you're feeling it, if not, just Pen Boots. Cosmic Drive, because you just go in and out fights non-stop, either defensive item or just aggressive. That's pretty much it. The rune setup is, I don't have the runes on screen, but I'll show you in the client as well then. So for Spellbook, you want to have a setup looking like this. Magical Footwear, really OP. You take this 10 out of 10 games. Maybe if you're playing at Z or something, you want to go Perfect Timing, it's also okay. But I really recommend just Magical Footwear. Minion DMATs are a bit harder to use, because like it needs you to have a little bit of understanding about minion wave management. Though that being said, if you use all 3 minion DMATs, or even just 2 on range minions, it will let you one-shot the backline 1 point in E less. So it's still pretty fucking good. Cosmic Insight, always 10 out of 10 games. But if you are a noob and you are not confident in minion DMATs, then I just recommend going Futures Market. Futures Market Magical Footwear are the best scaling runes in the entire game, because they will accelerate your items by insanely fast. Like with these runes, you can get Proto Belts like consistently before 10 minutes if you just keep farming well. Like it's really, really simple. Next is Conqueror. This is the Giga Chad Oat Milk Drinker Vladimir build. This is what you do when you are so fucking manly, dude. I love this build. It's really fun to play with. It's not really bad into anything. Maybe into like range champions where you just should go Predator. It's not like it's bad rune, but it just gets outclassed by Predator, because Predator is so fucking busted, you know? Against champions that have like really long fights with you, where you fight for, I don't know, you trade for a while. It's not like you go in and out, like Orianna just pokes you and you can't trade back. It's not like Katarina where she jumps on you and jumps away again. It's like Silas where he jumps on you and then he's on you for the next like 10 seconds, and you stack it up. You get low HP, you get last stand, and then you just burst them. Conqueror is really, really good into those champions. Into Galio, it's insane as well. I would say go Conqueror into Galio 10 out of 10 times. It's by far the best rune that you can get. It's really, really fun to play as well. Into Galio especially, because he has a shit ton of CC that you can't avoid, the taunt in lane. So you get a crap ton of value out of it with the Tenacity rune, because it's really fucking broken as well. When Galio taunts you and you auto hit him, you deal like no damage, right, with regular runes. But with Conqueror and you auto hit him, you at least stack Conqueror while he's taunted. So after that, after he like bursts you, you outtrade him really hard. Into Yasuo as well, he likes like sustained trades. Yasuo Yon, they like to go in and like proc Conqueror themselves and fight you. And if you manhandle Yasuo when he trades with you, then he's just fucked. He's just fucking screwed. Like I said, Conqueror, the Tenacity rune is really OP into things that like will CC you. What key things would you say is important for getting out of diamonds? Common mistakes, for example. Helping your teammates too much, not playing selfish enough, dying way too many times. Dying is a big part. If you don't die, you will probably climb. Yeah, dude, Conqueror is because of the Tenacity rune. Because you go Conqueror, Triumph, Tenacity, Last Stand. All great runes for Vlad. They are really, really good versus Cannon, Fiddle, and Rakan. Because if they ult you, and you don't have Tenacity, you just die instantly. You will get bursted in team fights. But if you have Tenacity, there's a at least a high chance that you can tank the CC and just pool after that, right? And if you get low HP on Conqueror, that's good, right? Because you have Last Stand. That's 12% more magic damage. And the way percent damage amplification works in League is ridiculous. It's multiplicative. If you have 10% from your Vlad ult, which adds 10% damage amplification on champions, 12% from Last Stand, and Rift Makers 10% or whatever it is, it stacks up to 35%, and then you just deal 35% increased damage. Imagine it's half of a reverse exhaust on everyone else. What the fuck? It's fucking crazy. And out of laning phase, Conqueror is also really great into champions that are kind of tanky. Especially tanks are fucking great. Sion won't ever be able to kill you if you have Conqueror, because you just out-sustain him. Have you tried overheal at all? I have, and it's fucking shit, because why would you go overheal on Vlad? You want to be low HP. It has negative synergy. Wow, you can stack a shield, but you don't get any healing on Vlad's Q because it scales with percent missing HP, so it's horrible. Yeah, Conqueror is great into tanky champions. It's great into sustained fights like your Lee Sin, Aurelia, Camille, Urgot, Darius. The fights that go on for 20 seconds, they're fucking amazing. Secondary tree and Conqueror. I would go Nimbus, Cloak, Transcendence every game, pretty much. You can mix it up a bit, but it's kind of dirty because if you go no Flash Ghost and you don't have Nimbus Cloak, you will feel like shit because you just can't catch up to people. It feels like absolute shit. So yeah, these runes. If you play with Ghost, you can kind of cheap out on Nimbus Cloak, but it still feels fucking bad. Nimbus Cloak Ghost still feels pretty good. I still recommend it. But yeah, that's your setup. I would mostly go into, like I said, matchups where you don't really need TP, like these champions. Especially Galio. Galio is 100%. And Galio, you always want to go Flash and Ghost. So you outscale him, you beat him in laning phase, he just can't do anything versus you. Is it worth to go Electrocute for lane pressure in low elo or something more scaling like Conqueror so you can go in? I'm not sure what in your mind makes you think that Conqueror is really good scaling compared to Electrocute, but all runes scale really, really hard, and it's just matchup dependent. Just go whatever is good in matchup. You can play the most generic rune set in every matchup, and it will work, but you won't make it to the highest of highs with it, You won't make it shell with that, I don't think. With Conqueror, you don't really weave in and out of fights, so you could ask, why would you go Cosmic Drive? But because you have, so much AP from Conqueror, you don't really need to have kept that early, even though it does amplify it. But because you're more Battle Mage, you want to get Cosmic Drive, so you have the sustained DPS. If you go Riftmaker, you definitely want to go Cosmic Drive. Riftmaker without Cosmic Drive feels pretty shit. Feels pretty bad. After that, just Death Cap and Void Staff. With Riftmaker, you don't really need a Void Staff that's much, because you have the true damage from Riftmaker, so it's kind of whatever. But if enemy team stacks a shit ton of MR, then you still need to go Void Staff. The little boy runes for Conqueror is just scaling HP, adaptive AP, and CDR as per usual. Nothing new with that. But yeah, generic tips again. If you have tools to dive the backline, such as Predator, Flash, Ghost, anything that helps you get to backline, Protobelt, then go backline, kill the backline. If you don't have that, then just peel for your ADC and just don't let anyone get close to you. Always at least have 8 CS per minute. If you have less than 8 CS per minute, you will become a walking cannon minion. It feels like shit playing with less. Doesn't mean that you should have exactly 8 CS per minute. You should have as much as humanly possible, because this champion scales so hard off CS. So I really, really recommend going as much CS as possible. Getting consistent high CS per minute in games feels difficult. Main issues I face are either laners more focused on harass and pushing me out of lane than farming, or perma ARAM post 15 minutes where it feels like I'm doing my team to side lane. I average 6.3 CS. I play against the best players in the world who harass me all the time, and I still manage to take 10 CS per minute, so just watch my gameplay when you see that. If you see people fucking ARAMing, it's like in Dota you have this mechanic where you create space for the carry. That means that your team is fighting, so your carry can farm. Just think about that concept. If your team is fighting 4v4 or 4v5, and you're getting CS, that's fucking worth it for you. Maybe your team trades I don't know, 4 for 3 or 4 for 2. That's worth it for you, man. As long as you're getting CS and you're getting ahead yourself, that's good for you. Don't care about the fucking team fights unless you know you have Ghost, Flash, unless you have everything that you need to team fight. If you are too weak to team fight, you don't join that. If you don't have tools to team fight, if you don't have ult, just farm instead. It's pointless to fight without anything. It's just logical. Was it always TP with Predator or Ghost sometimes? I missed a bit. it's playstyle preference, but into hard matchups, always TP. Into people who take Ignite, always TP. And if you like Ghost, I like Ghost, you can still go it. But I think TP is broken. I think TP is really broken when you know how to use it. And it's like simple to use. You just trade aggressively, recall with 300 gold, TP back to lane, there you go. You're full HP, full everything. An enemy is like low HP if they don't have TP. One of the most important things when you play a Vlad against like other late game mages is like, don't get tilted. Just don't get tilted. If you're playing against a Kassadin and he scales really fucking hard as well, and you're 100 CS at 10 minutes, and Kassadin is like 80 CS because you bullied him, and Kassadin like just gets a lucky random kill, your jungler just runs it down. Shit fucking happens, right? This is where Calvin's first law comes in order. I think, and it's been proven again and again and again in my games, that someone you beat and you think that player is shit, if he gets lucky random kills, just like a little bit, not like overkill, not like 20 kills, and that guy is fucking shit at the game, that's not going to make him carry. Him getting lucky kills isn't going to make him grow fingers, you know? Unless it's like literally 20 kills Katarina with 25 Magi's. Then like it will fucking compensate for her not having fingers. You know what I mean? So that's really important to remember. And also the reverse version of that law, Calvin's reversed law. You have to remember that if you get fucked by something like a 4-man support jungle top lane dive or some shit like that, and it fucks you over and you fall a little bit behind, not too far behind, you have to remember that's not going to make you a worse player. It might reduce your carry potential by a little bit, but you are still going to be the same player that you are. So you have to still think, how do I carry this game? Depends on what champ getting kills, I guess. Yeah, that's what I said. If it's Katarina with 20 kills, then you're fucked. If it's Katarina getting 1, 2, 3 kills, then you win. Here's a shell. Could it be unwinnable games for you in Diamond or Under? Of course, sometimes games are just unwinnable, man. Games are just unwinnable. A really important thing to note as well is it takes a long time to get good on Vlad. Like, you will be shit for your first 100 games. And if that's unmotivating for you, you should probably not play this champion, right? But I really think, like, Vlad has probably one of the highest carry potentials in the entire game with Magi's. Like, if you just don't die and play, like, really well and have, like, 11 CS per minute, don't miss a single CS, you will win, like, almost all your games. Especially in low elo. Like, you will just win. Perfect gameplay, like, gets giga rewarded on Vladimir. I think it's really important. If you buy Magi's and you just don't die, eventually you'll get kills, and eventually you'll get those stacks and you'll win the game. That's literally how I play the game. Also really important advice, like I said, not dying. You want to perma keep track of enemy jungle and enemy support. Every like few seconds, every 3-5 seconds, you want to look at minimap, check. Is support missing? Is the jungle missing? Where are they? You have to be really careful with that. And it's like kind of simple to do. Like, you might suck ass at it for the first 100 games, but once you have those habits, it's really good. I don't even realize anymore that I'm like tracking enemy jungle. I just always, for the first 3 minutes, know exactly where enemy jungle is. I will never die to 3 minutes jungle gank. I will never die to that on Vladimir. I will never die to cheese Xin Zhao ganks, to fucking Elise ganks, Jarvan ganks. I will never die to that. It's really simple. Just track enemy jungle. Get the 130, the 115 like ward, the 120 minutes ward. I will show you exactly, and you will just not die to jungle ever. This is like one of the biggest tips I can give you. So first thing, you load into game, you want to assess your win condition and stuff like that. But really important is around this time, 110ish, unless you're playing against challenger support Lathyrus Television, you don't want to do this. But 10 out of 10 games, you just put a ward there, and then eventually the jungler will walk through here. If you're playing against Lathyrus, I've tried this as well. I walk over here and ward, and the bastard knows it. The bastard knows it and stops me. So I'm not revealing my secrets how I counterplay that, because I don't really have any. But yeah, that's how you do it. The guy fucking knows, dude. It's fucking annoying. But in low elo, nobody's gonna do that. Even in fucking Chal, nobody's gonna do that. That's the only guy who ever fucks me over doing this. Sometimes the jungler will be standing here, and if it's like a fucking, I don't know, if it's a weak early game jungle like a Skarner or some shit like that, most of the time the guy will literally walk away from you because he thinks you're not solo. What fucking crazy Vladimir is going to walk up level 1 and walk into him, you know? They will walk away. They'll be like, what the fuck? He's walking at me? I'm gonna walk away. Fuck this shit. And then you put a ward down. If they don't have a sweeper, you slap it down. If they have a sweeper, don't slap it down. And there you go. What's also really important, if you track the jungle and you slap your ward down, and let's say it's like 2 minutes into the game, and you see enemy jungle like do red buff, Krugs, and then Raptors, and he has 12 CS, and he has red buff, and he's going bot side. You should be hugging this side of the wall, the opposite side of the jungle. And I would say like 70% of your games, your jungle will be pathing opposite side of of enemy jungle. And for those like 30% of the games where your jungle and enemy jungle path on same side, meaning this, your jungle starts on blue, he starts on red, and they both path towards this crab right here, that's when you need to get prio. Level 3. Or like 3 minutes 15 into the game. That's when on the third wave, the cannon minion wave, you want to slow push the wave and then crash it. If you have like at that time 3:15 prio, you can walk over to crab and your jungle will thank you. Your jungle will thank you and you win the game, pretty much. If they don't, path same side, if jungle is path opposite sides, he starts here, he starts here, then you just let the lane slow push your direction, and you want the minion wave to be like around this spot right here. Hopefully the minions like actually work. I think they're like buggies. But yeah, you just want to have the line like over here, because it's really safe and you can't really get ganked like in this spot. But people in Challenger don't even think about this, so it's really, really like OP to know this. So yeah, track enemy jungle. A big tip about tracking enemy support that I think is like pretty easy is that a lot of times when enemy support roams, it means your support roams as well. A lot of times, I would say like 8 out of 10 times, enemy support and your support is not bot lane. If you see your support not bot lane, if you see him anywhere else than bot lane, then you have to shit your pants that enemy support might be coming for you as well. I think that's like really like free tip. I've like never been told this, but it's like something I've realized. But yeah, obviously it's better just to keep track of enemy support like manually. Really important as well on Vlad that you only roam on good waves. And with good waves, I mean waves that are pushed in onto enemy turrets. So like enemy laner has to last on a turret and he can't follow you. So it has to be a good roam. Yeah, like what I mean with good waves is that you just don't lose any farm while you're gone, or lose very little. If you lose like more than 3-4 CS, then it's like bad roam timer, unless you get something. If you lose less than that and you get something, then you're chilling, then you're doing fucking amazing. That's what like coaches and shit people mean, like when you say the enemy like sinned really hard and just flipped it. It means that they roamed on a bad wave, they lost an entire wave, and they might not have gotten something for it. Or like they get something and it's not even worth it for them, you know? Between losing CS or let my team die, whichever value gives you more, dude. Like it's just logical thinking and experience, but most of the time it's just farm. What would you say is the maximum acceptable CS loss for a kill or an assist is? There's so many more factors than just like, I got a kill for X amount of CS. It's also how much CS did you deny the person you killed? Did you dive a Jack's top lane when you have a Camille and there's 20 CS under his turret and he loses 20 CS? If yes, then you can lose 10 CS and it's still worth it, you know? It just matters on the circumstances. If you roam with bot lane and it's like level 6 and the bot laners are level 4 and you're playing with Kalista versus Draven and whoever gets first kill snowballs the game, I don't care if you lose 20 CS, dude. It's still worth getting the roam down. If it's a guaranteed roam and you guarantee your bot lane winning, it's still worth it. And you might be sad like, oh yeah, I got my bot lane ahead and they couldn't carry. You will probably lose the game anyways then, because they're shit, you know? Even if you do play selfishly and they are just that fucking bad, you know? So it's like survivalship bias, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, huge tip. Every game, if you go proto belts, after proto belts, buy Magi's. The item is fucking amazing. It's great. It gives you more carry potential. The damage it gives you is also insane because it gives you fly flat pen. It's fucking amazing. And really big thing that people like don't value is that if you have 10 plus stacks and you are bad at the game and you do die for no reason, what do you feel? You feel pure fucking pain. You feel like shit. You feel so fucking bad. And that bad feel will make you, the next time, be less likely to die in that spot, because you'll be thinking about it instead. So just buy it, play like shit, and eventually your body will just fucking feel so fucking stressed that you realize, fuck, dude, I shouldn't be doing this. Eventually you'll realize the habits. You just auto-learn. There is no like, oh my god, I need another item, Elite. I'm a little fucking pussy boy. I can't play with Magi's. Just buy it. Learn to be responsible. Yeah. If you're a little bitch that doesn't buy Magi's, close the stream right now and play Oriana. That's all I have to say for you. Yeah. We have reached the late game of the guide. Meaning we're at the very end. Do you guys have any questions? You can ask me anything league related. Spaceball hold in team fights in general. It's just like fucking preference. I don't do it. I don't like it. Skin tier list. If I play any skin other than Bloodlord Vlad for like 3 games in a row, I will feel like my brain is deforming. But Marquise is also good. That's all I say. People tend to FF the game before I skill on Vladimir. How do you counter this? I don't believe that people will consistently, that you will have sub 50% win rate because people FF the game. I don't believe that. And if it does happen, then it's just unlucky. It just happens. Will we see fewer player questions in this chat after the guide? Probably not. I was wondering if you have a certain item amount in game that you think you can start dominating with. Anything like after Death Cap feels really good. If you buy Death Cap and you have Magi's, it feels like the game is unlosable no matter what. I will show you like perfect example. It was this game a day ago, 33 minutes. The game is 2-8 at 7 minutes into the game. We are losing top lane, Aurelia versus Jax. How fucking bad is that? We are losing like the worst possible matchups, like snowball matchup. It's fucking shit. But if you just stay consistent and you just play smart, this is Khan by the way. You can help a little bit there, roam on good wave. I didn't miss like much CS. Look, I missed 2 melee minions from this roam. 2 melee minions for my top lane to win his matchup. How fucking worth is that? And that's only because I've got Predator. Only because I got Predator. I own your Sorks every game, unless you go Conqueror, and then you can go it, but I don't recommend it. But yeah, look how pissed doomed this game looked. Even after I roamed, it looked doomed. 13-23. Looks fucking shit to me, man. 19-28. I'm only 403. I have 220 CS though. This game still looks really hard, right? But in my mind, I'm level 14 at 21 minutes. I have a death cap. I've got 528 AP. In my mind, I'm like, holy shit, I'm so fucking fed. This game is unlosable. In my mind right now. I entered really hard this game like twice. And it would have ended like 10 minutes earlier if I didn't do that. But regardless of that situation. Deacon Rush is most optimal with Megas maybe. With Predator, this build is like best, like I said. Raptors before Alternator is bad in most matchups, or is there a different item where the HP loss is relevant? If you go Fiendish Codex, you don't lose nearly as much HP. But don't do it with pen boots, it'll feel really bad. Like, before I completely inted here, 23 to 32, this game still doesn't look that good, right? But I've got 700 AP at 24 minutes, and I'm nearly level 16. The game is over. If I just don't die right now, the game is over. It's free win. I completely ran it down here because I didn't think Kiana would have ults. So I didn't even like bother reacting to it. But imagine I pool here, and I insta-kill these guys, and then they walk up and die as well. Like, game's just over, you know? And look, 4-11, 6-8, 4-8. My team's not doing fucking well, dude. And these are really nasty champions to be playing against as well, so. Any advice if Bruiser gets Giga fed and it takes 8 rotations of QE to kill them? Conqueror Riftmaker is really good into that. If you're like against a mostly Bruiser team comp. But yeah. Most important thing is just don't falter when you play Vlad, right? Don't slip. People, like, the longer the game goes, the higher chance that enemy team will at least one time throw the game. And that is in Challenger as well. Have you played versus Haha now, Lucky? If so, how do you feel about Echo versus Vlad matchup? It is insanely Vlad favored. I don't think I've played against him like in a few years now. Maybe I played against him like a few years ago, but I played against other like good Echoes, and it's like it's always really one-sided. They can't do anything. The matchup is just fucking bad for Echo. Which take do you think is more accurate? It's not worth to get Rabadons early because you don't have enough AP to make use of its power, but it's worth to get it early because the subsequent AP buy has higher value. I think whatever I said in my guide is best. Depends what like runes you have and shit, dude. If you go Predator and you buy it after these two items, which is like pretty early, like third item, second item pretty much, it's worth it because you have Gathering Storm, 24 AP, 20 minutes, Power Ward, 20 minutes, 30 AP. That's 54 AP already amplified. Do you have problems versus Syndra? Only if I don't take Flash TP. Then it's unplayable. Do I have a script for this or mostly memorized? I have both. Not really like much of a script though. Like less than 100 words probably. So do you Electro Ignites into trade heavy melee, Predator, TP, into ranged? Pretty much, yeah. If you don't want to rewatch the entire VOD, then yeah, just do that. I want to like show the example of this game where like it looked really bad and then like enemy team threw and it was like all of a sudden really winnable. I don't know where it was though. Like fucking, yeah, I don't know. Kiana just like killed herself on me. But I can't remember where it was. This right here. Game looks fucking doomed, right? But if you have the mindset that the enemy team will eventually throw, and it's better to be prepared for them to throw, and then not have that opportunity, than them throwing and then not having the opportunity, or then not having the CS to like capitalize on their throw. So always high CS. And right here, like I've got decent CS, I'm pretty strong. Kiana is like, I don't know, legit like fucking 10 kills or whatever. She's just running it down. That's 1,000 gold right there. And the entire game was just swung in our favor just from that. Eventually enemies will like throw, eventually. Is that viable? I don't know, I don't play it, man. How do I combo fast more consistently? Practice. General tips to survive bad matchups. If the enemy laner usually is like the person who has mana, like Orianna, Syndra, and Cassio, and they just auto-hit you, and you give them the opportunity to auto-hit you instead of using abilities, then you're going to have a really rough time. If they just use abilities on you and poke you like that, then you're chilling. Then you're in really deep shit. Maybe this game is like kind of good to review because it's like really good example on like everything in the guide. Demonic Embrace ever good? No, it's horrible item. It's really dog shit. Like I'm just looking at map and finding little like wins where people are throwing, and while I'm doing that, I'm just still like farming all game long. That's how you win this game. Think it's more important not to miss CS in lane and side lanes, or farm jungle camps to get instant. Are you like joking, dude, or what? You're asking me if it's better to play perfectly in laning phase, or is it better to make mistakes and make up for it with jungle? Like, I don't think you are thinking that, are you? Are you okay people drawing fan art review? Of course, dude. I'm not gonna feel fucking like whatever. Against medias, is the general idea to slow push the first 3 waves and convert it into a freeze? Slow push first 3 waves and crash on cannon minion is always best option versus if you can do that, which is like good into melees. That is correct, but freezing isn't always the best thing. I don't know if I have a VOD of it. I mean, actually, I don't know. It's not always the best thing because, like, in situations like that where you slow push 3-wave crash, and you're not careful that you don't hit the wave too much, and you hit it too little, and the enemy wave gets too big, then it will go under their turret. The minions will die, and the enemy minions and the enemy laner will just use all his abilities and HP on the wave, and then it will push under your turret. And then you're stuck under your turret with a shit ton of CS on her tower, and then the enemy laner, from being in a fucked spot, just recalls and walks up to lane again. And then they will get a cheater recall. So you have to be really careful with, like, about freezing like that. So I think it's like really delicate thing. I think it's much better to do like different things, like either just recalling, cheater recall, harassing them on the turrets, getting wards out, helping you juggle, like all those kind of things. Thank you, Amjay Bolado, for the prime, and Salty Wolf, thank you for the 26. When would you freeze in general on Vlad in mid lane? If there's nothing going on the map and you can't help anyone on the map, and you are like before like 8 minutes, then maybe it's good to freeze. Is CR rune shot underrated or what? Seems like really good, especially in early game. It's always, what do you mean? Why would it be underrated if you go it every game? That's not underrated. It's just, you just always go it. It's the best. $11 to 20. Game looks doomed. I'm only 2-1-0, and I still buy Magi's because it's the only way that I can like carry these games really easily, like consistently, right? Look, MF kills herself on me exactly after I buy Magi's. 9 stacks. The game is so much more winnable now, you know? Thoughts on that matchup? It's very skill oriented, but I would say it's like 60-40 because you just outscale him if you play well. Do you have a cheater recall example on VODs here? I don't really like taking cheater recalls often, so I don't think so. 27 minutes. Maybe it's this. What the fuck? I'm trying to find the game versus Kassadin yesterday. Yes. Which mages can match Vlad the best late game? None of them can match him, but some get close, which is Kale and Kassadin. And other like mages with flat pen build. This is like typical Electro melee matchup that you like should win, right? So I start off by hitting the wave a little bit, slow pushing it, harassing him a little bit. Gangplank. Wave is building up, wave is building up. So by healing reduction against Silas if you don't have ignites? Not really. Just pull his W and he won't heal anything. It's really hard, but you have to learn it. That's how you win the matchup. Look, we see enemy jungle on my ward. We know exactly what the Graves is going to do now. Crash on 3rd wave. Pretty much 4th one. It crashes. Kassadin is stressed as fuck because it's hard for him to last it on her turret because the minions are dying really fast and I harass him. We know exactly where Graves is. This is what you should be doing against like all melee champions. We see Graves. I can move. So Graves backs off from the crab. He knows that he has to give it up. Kassadin tries to recall on this wave, but I freeze it, so he has to stay. And now it's like kind of awkward spot for him to be in. And if you do this versus like Katarina or like, I don't know, Echo, those kind of champions, then they're just completely fucked. Kassadin at least has like a lot of like base MR, a lot of his passive is like really strong, and he's pretty strong versus Vlad in general. But if you do this versus like other champions, they're just fucked. What's the best way to get 10 6 minutes? Don't miss last hits, dude. Why you need to cut healing? Which item do you replace with Morello? I don't cut healing, dude. I never do it. What do you think of Dark Harvest? It's horrible. I never buy healing reduction, dude. It's not worth it. It's a horrible item. I think Groudon's second item is okay. I don't think it's okay. I think it's recommended with Magi's into Predator. If you're playing like Burst Vlad, if you play with Ghost, then it's not really that good. Going to cut anything a one shot? Yeah, pretty much. Or you just buy tell your chess pieces, your teammates to buy it, you know? I'm sure other people will buy it. Do you build void staff much earlier into opponents building MR, or do you avoid them and continue normal build? I build void staff so commonly into people that buy MR, I will do it before they buy MR, preemptively. Because if they buy MR and you only start building your void staff then you're fucked. Is Pivot good on that? No, it's horrible. It's shit. What to do if enemy laner rushes full MR and I can't one-shot him level 6? Then you say, thank you, enemy laner, you just wasted gold, and I don't want to kill you anyways, and you just farm and you win the game, because you wasted money. Do I still buy Phoenix Codex into situations where you feel like shit and you're like in a rough matchup? Then yes. Look, I'm against Casted in this game and I buy Phoenix Codex, I think, first back. And guess what? Phoenix Codex lets me manhandle the Casted. If Casted jumps on me, I out-trade him because of the Phoenix Codex. I would not be able to sustain this much without Phoenix Codex here. This Castan is already dead in my eyes. He's legit dead already. I'm full HP because of Phoenix Codex here. If he jumps on me here, he just dies. Straight up. He jumped, and he's dead. Fails his flash, and he's dead anyways. Did you actually precision changes? I don't know, dude. When you do the E-flash or empowered key combo, what finger are you using? I cannot tell you, because if I tell you, it's gonna fuck with my own head, because I just do it like muscle memory. I don't know. I just do it. It's actually how I do it, dude. I just do it. When Phoenix Codex goodbye, I just said into hard matchups, into matchups where you need sustain, that's good. An early void in prep for MR buyers would be directly after Magi's? Yes. Unless like they buy it literally before you can even buy Magi's, then just buy it before. Like if you're like 3 AP and it's like really shit, then yeah. Like, this is like a good time to roam. It's really rare that you have like good matchups in Vlad, and even rarer that enemies let you push in waves. But right now, look, this is like really good example of when I said it's a good time to roam. I crash the mid lane wave. It goes under turret. The next wave that is coming is still in base. So the next enemy wave is still in base, and it's going to take like 20 seconds for it to get to lane, and another like 10 seconds for it to die at all. Right? So right now you have like 30 seconds of time where you can do whatever you want. Right now you want to already have it made a decision what you want to do right now when you're playing. If you get the opportunity to push, you want already, while you're pushing, think, what am I going to do in 20 seconds then? I here made the decision that I'm just going to farm turret plates because my bot lane is dead, and I don't really think top lane is that diveable. I think it takes me too long to go top lane here because I have like really shit boots, and it's just, I don't know. That's how you like win with tempo in your laning. This game is like so like perfect example of like many different concepts. Do you have a dodge when paired with a particular jungler or team comp style? If we're 4 AP, I will dodge. And if my jungle is autofilled, and like, I don't know, my support is also autofilled, then I'll probably dodge as well. Because it just feels like shit. Don't ban Master because if the enemy mid picks him, then you know he's a total bitch and can't play the game properly. Or you can just not ban Malzahar and just manhandle him when they pick him. If you push Malzahar on the turret perma and you know where enemy jungle is, then he can't play the game. He cannot. But Malzahar has too little wave clear to keep up with your push. He harasses you, then he can't last it. He pushes the wave, and then he can't harass you. And if you have D-ring and he spawns his slaves and you one-shot them with your E, then your D-ring will heal you because it's unit killed, and it'll give you HP because of the D-ring passive. How do you improve lane management? I just like, I don't know. I just know it. I never knew that minion wave management existed, and then I was taught that it exists, and then I just like implemented it into my game. Like, I don't know. Elite hates Nightbringer lads so much. The word is still whitelisted in chat after all this time. Actually, Mystic, I think Nightbringer is one of my favorite skins. It's just that when you type Nightbringer, the first 3 words and the last 3 words spell something very bad that you're not allowed to write on Twitch. And then Twitch auto blacklists it. That's the truth. I like it, yeah. I don't think you can type Nightbringer in any channel. Like, yeah. don't come on, bro, me, dude. Like, telling you why it's not typable. Do you play games in sets of 3 and 5 or just spam? If you are climbing, it's probably smart to stop after 2 losses, but I'm a psychopath, so I just keep playing. I don't know. I just play till I feel like I can't play, which is usually like 5 to 7 hours. After 7 hours, my brain is fried. Then it's like fucking spaghetti ring brain. Look again here. It's same concept as last time. Kassadin moves, and I get to push out this lane. So before moving, I kill these minions. Minions are dead. The next wave hasn't even spawned yet, so I've got like 40 seconds time to move. I've got 40 seconds time to do whatever I want on the map. Kassadin dies bot lane, so I don't really have to roam there anymore. So I just have 40 seconds of hitting this turret now. So that's what I do. Then Riven comes mid, and I don't get to have that option anymore. But at least Riven comes mid then instead of going top lane. Again, the wave is dead. Now I have 30 seconds time again to do whatever I want. We tried to get the Riven. It was really fucking scuffed. My Xin Zhao was kind of boosted. Get a lucky kill. Again, 30 seconds time. What can I do? Can recall, can go bot lane, can go mid lane, tell Jace to TP top lane, walk bot lane. Like, I've got so much time right now. Think it's worth getting more points into E early on. I think 4 points into E is really, really, really OP if you can afford it and you don't need the sustain. When should I use the Conqueror? Into Galio. Just watch the VOD if you want more information. Spam games daily to climb or less games daily but with more focus? Less games daily with more focus is usually better. That's usually how people climb. But I don't really like doing that. Yeah. First level E instead of R after level 6. You have to think about it in the way that if you have 4 points into E, then you will one-shot backline at like a level 11, level 12. If you do have 4 points in E, then you don't really need to do it. So it just depends. Just depends. Most nervous you've ever been before a game of League? Like last season or 2 seasons ago, I was like 1 win off of Challenger, and it was like 1 day off of season ending. That was fucking hype. Do you with 3 points Q then max E, or is it not situational? If I remember to do it, and my chicken brain doesn't forget it, then I will do it. If I don't need the sustain, like I said. Why do best Korean Vlad mains play top Vladimir with Ghost, Ignite, Summonary? Because the server is fucking crazy, dude, and the game ends before 10 minutes. Do you ever do anything to warm up before playing? I will either play a practice round on Smurf, or I will practice last hits for 8 minutes. Every day. Before I play. I will never go into ranked like first thing. Why should I prioritize ulting the wave instead of saving it for an all-in if I think I need to get dove, need to back before getting fucked? It's the same concept with like, if you can push in the wave, or like, I don't know, let's say it's like level 6. Alright, let's say right now Cassin's walking back to lane, right? And I've got 1,300 gold in my inventory. I've got like a shit ton of money in my inventory. And I know that if I last hit this wave and just push it normally, I won't put it under turret in time and Cassin will freeze it. If I ult the wave, then he won't have time to freeze it. Then I will ult it to get a recall here, to get tempo. If he like doesn't have TP and he's walking back to base or back to lane right now, you know what I mean? Ever consider not spamming main and maybe climbing on 2 accounts for better results? It's a lot better, yes, but like I don't know. It just takes time. Every time I play into Mal's or Galio or anyone that wants to push the wave, I go attack speedrun. No. Yeah, you are low elo, man. That's not good. Don't go attack speedrun on Vlad. How do you do your own VOD review? Just watch every game and just think like how you should have played differently. Like, what would a perfect player do in this spot right now to win the game, you know? What helps me a lot, because if I VOD review a game instantly after playing it, I will just agree with all my things that I thought in the game, right? Because otherwise I wouldn't have made those decisions. But if you VOD review your VOD after like a week of time and you forget the game, then it'll like seem like a third perspective. Like it'll seem like it's fresh. That works for me at least. Well, if you don't think in the game, then you're having fun. So going cool and attack speedrun, good option versus Cassin. No, you are fucking griefing. You are trolling. I just told the other guy he's trolling. Like, you're griefing, man. I've played on an A, yes I have. Server fucking sucks in low masters. Was got wrecked by Victor. Any tips? Don't let him auto hit you. Only make him use spells on you and go teleport, and he can't really do much. If you still get fucked, then just go D-shield, and then if you get fucked when you have TP D-shield and you don't let him auto hit you, then you must be taking tower shots or something. Then you must be eating tower shots or some shit. Anything you don't like in Vlad's kit? I mean, it feels bad that you are reliant on something to have like any amount of mobility. I wish Vlad was like Riven, where you just can go whatever you want, and you don't have to go like Predator, you don't have to go Ghost, you don't have to go fucking Phase Rush, you know? Is there any more not obvious lane tip like queuing Raptors? Using pool is like pretty legal if the wave is pushing in your direction. If it's pushing in enemy direction, you don't have pool, then you feel like shit. So, if I do the drawings, no, I paid someone. Dream that skin theme, it's Arcanist. Yeah, I don't know, Riven is... I don't know, it's like by design fucking broken. She's just good at everything or what. Decent early game, decent late game, decent mid game, like strong mid game and shit. Good items, good everything. Good mobility, isn't really reliant on certain runes. It's just fucking like by design good. Gated by skill, and even when you're not skilled, it's still strong. Like what the fuck is that? Had swipe hammer perma push into you, take TP. Svenny good in bruiser tank meta. With the correct build, when you go Conqueror, then he's great. With Riftmaker Conqueror, then he's amazing. Bruisers can't kill you. So you won me winning Vega between the Vlad Yon matchup, and you just won it even after you got Greaves, and you said it's hard winning even after that, but you couldn't stand what you were doing in the trades. Do you instant EW when he is? Yes. Just EW, auto EW, Q EW, proc electrocutes, and just back off, and he can't play. And make sure the wave is never in a bad spot. Is Vlad generally good right now? Usually OTPs are delusional about their champions, saying they're weak, and I do think Vlad is like not the strongest, but I think because I like have so much experience in the champion, I think he's really fucking strong. I think he's really, really strong. It's a super question, I know, but do you think that if Spellbinder hadn't been rude, would that be stronger this season? I miss it so much. He'd be less, like, thing reliant, like summoner reliant. Hats are lane against Ziggs or Vel'Koz. If you're dodging their poke and they start pushing so hard with that jungler, you just can't do anything. Start pushing back, buy Fiendish Conex, take TP. How do you play against LeBlanc? Take Predator. Taste of Blood helps you a lot against her. Fiendish Codex is good if you're bad. And if she throws her sigil on you, just pull it / her dash. If she chains you twice, you die. Am I the biggest Swiss streamer? Probably. How do you carry in Loylo? Feels like by the time I get scale, the game is already over. Loylo games tend to last a lot longer than high-low ones, so that is just a lie. How do you play versus Wex? You play really scared first few waves, and then she can't really kill you. I can't lose with Vlad. Damn, the Shadow God, you are so good. Please teach me. Wow, 80% win rate? Wow, man. You're so crazy, man, you know that? You think they should buff stack Q move speed? I think they should just leave it be, dude. Just leave it be. And versus Faker mid? Nope. I die multiple times in lane playing safe, so I fall behind a lot, so should be playing aggro. That doesn't make sense, but sure. Electro build is most likely strong in Loylos. I mean, not really. I don't know why I would scale with Elo. You can punish people's mistakes with TP just as well with Electrocute. Is Vlad ADC even viable? Of course, I played secondary. The most OP about Vlad ADC is that you remove the most mentally unstable player in your team, which is the ADC, and you also get to play against the enemy most mentally unstable player, who also happens to be pretty shit at the game most of the time, because ADC is like mostly mechanics. Hello TJ. Are you as good as Zukil on Vlad? No. I would say at my peak I would probably be the same. But I don't reach my peak a lot. Because, I don't know, I think I sleep really badly. And I think Zukil is just really good. And also Yon is really strong right now, so... But I do think I'm pretty good. I think Zukil is just like almost always at his peak, you know? He's just always really consistent. Should you dodge a Navy matchup? No, you should take TP and Predator. Which one's your favorite stuff to play with? Pike. Zukal's for 1.2 KLP. Yeah, he's really consistent, dude. Time to milk viewers for donos. I mean... Can you live good from in Switzerland? Not really, dude. I live with my parents. Diagon Genius or Lentis Hunter with Predator. There you go. Is there a matchup guide for laning phase that I can trust? I think just watch my stream and watch how I play it. It's not that complicated. I really don't think League is like that much of a hard game. I think it's really simple. It's just that it's like complex in simplicity, you know what I mean? Is there a slide for skins? No. Do you have a long-term plan to move out or just playing it as it goes? I want to move in with my girlfriend like within the next year. She's like in UK, you know? Hello, Jacob. But I'm not going to UK. I'm not going to that fucking place. Can you become one-trick Yasuo? Why wouldn't I be able to, dude? The Shadow God, you are writing so much weird stuff in my chat. Diego phase is greater than Predator? No. Germany time? Why would I go to Germany when I live in Switzerland? When would you go water walking in Celerity? When the side lane matchups are really snowball reliant and you need to roam. Only England and Wales is trash. Rest of the UK is nice. Only England and Wales. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, dude. Plans to go to Korea serve again. If I get 1 KLP and I get Chell off Vlad, maybe. Do you do anything for work other than streaming? I worked IT for 4 years and then I quit it to stream full time because I think I will be biggest streamer one day. Does TP cancel Predator like activate right before TP? I don't know, but why would you ever do that? Why would you activate Predator before TP if Predator activates instantly and you just TP and then Predator, you know? Come to Nay, it's easy to get child for you there. Why would I do that? What would I prove then? Top Predator side charge? Nope. It got buffed. 40% move speed to 60% and no ramp up charge time anymore. That's why it's so fucking OP, dude. That's why it's so fucking broken, dude. It's going on YouTube? Yes, it is. As a teammate, is your goal to not get shoved and farm? I mean, you don't really have a choice. You will get shoved, but your choice is not get auto hit. That's it. If I run Spellbook, do I need Demon 2 if I want to get a one-shot the backline at level 8 with Hextech Alternator, 40 AP or Blasting 1, 40 AP with Dark Start at 0 stacks? Usually you one-shot at 4 points E. Regular, without Spellbook. You one-shot the wave like a level before if you demats range minions. But I don't know. I think if you're not Masters Plus, just go fucking Futures Market, it's better. I maintain lane presence with Vlad. I feel like I'm constantly giving up the map. I mean, you are in some regard, but if you play Predator TP, you shouldn't be. That's the whole point, because it's really consistent. You're always on the map. Like, if I am playing well, and I'm playing Predator TP, I don't think, like, I can have bad games. Because you're just always everywhere. Like, this game I played like shit. Maybe it was winnable. This game I played like shit as well. Maybe it was winnable. The only games I lose is, like, when I play like shit, you know? Is the PowerPoint available somewhere? No, but I can, like, link it if you want. I can make it shareable. This is my thumbnail artist. Read the YouTube description. Had you lane versus caster to be like Punisher as Vlad? You just outfarm them and win. People are bad. Is Ghost Ignite viable in some situation? It's alright, but it's just outclassed. Way of managing versus Tryndamere. While in mid lane, you just don't do anything. He just pushes you in and you can't do anything. Vladimir is broken. I stopped playing Kassadin because he's not like as late game anymore. He's more like not as strong. If you choose any duo mate, who would it be? It would be Lathyrus Twitch Television. Because he's my friend. Who do I ban? I ban Syndra. You can ban anything. They should add duo queue back to Masters Plus, in your opinion? Yeah, and then have everyone even more inflated? I don't think so, man. Have even more noobs in high-low? No, thank you. S10 Masters. S10 Diamond 1. Damn. They improved a lot, Smile. I mean, this guy's like pro player. He doesn't count. But yeah, I mean, he improved a lot, I guess. You know? I think he should be challenger, so he can duo queue, you know? To be fair. Jonas counterpick to Vlad? No, it's the opposite. My coach told me to only go Magi at 10 stacks, but I see you buy it with having full stack or Dark Steel. Is why I do this? Is it for mythic bonus passive with snowball potential? It's for both, and your coach is fucking shit Vlad player. If he doesn't know that, he's noob. Like Vega B2 even says that, and he doesn't play Vlad. Is anything Liz can do versus Vlad? It used to be a really hard counter, because Lissandra like outranges and you can just chunk with Q. I think if both players are playing perfectly, like Lissandra's playing perfectly, then it's not playable for Vlad. But you just fucking be fine. Coach is an Oriana player? Yeah, I don't know. How do you play against Rumble? Either one bursts you on high heats or takes your W, and I can't get near the wave. Yeah, it's really cancer. But if he flamethrowers you in the wave, then he pushes and then you can farm. But Rumble is really cancer. Rumble is like almost not playable. Just go TP. If you don't play TP, you're fucked. D-Shield is also really good into Rumble because he like does sustained damage a lot. Will I share the PowerPoint? I don't know. There you go. If I play versus Anivia, just don't die. I'm getting raided. Holy shit. Viewers. What the fuck, you guys are like fucking like piranhas. I put this in chat and like everyone's here now. What the fuck. Yeah, you guys can see the notes. I don't really have that many. But like these cheat sheets are still useful, I guess. Do I ever follow Rumble roams or just focus farming? You don't really ever follow roams in general, so just farm. The only non-anonymous person. But yeah, if you guys don't have any questions anymore, that's pretty much it. Pretty much done. Any plans to update the matchup sheets? I will do it when I need to. Right now it's still fine. The Shinshin fixture. Yeah. It's pretty good, no? Possibly get the copy of the PowerPoint. I literally just linked it in chat, man. I'll link it again, I guess. Can you play a pet TP game and talk through some points? I will not play a game, but I can speed like through one. I'm really hungry right now. I'm not gonna play well. Like I'm starving hungry. This game is almost like perfect example of like really, really, really good game from me. At least I think I played like a fucking monster in this game. It's like the perfect example. We can just like fucking speedrun it. Any thoughts on preseason yet? I don't have any opinions on it, dude. Level 1 ward. Put it down. I put it down earlier, so power ward expires by the time the jungler walks there. You know, a few supports good with Vlad. Like I said, Pike, Yumi, good. Pike, Yumi, Alistar, Nautilus, all good. Playing against Zoe, she pushes like perma. She always pushes, so I want to like anti-push it. So I'm harassing the wave as well. Because if she pushes it on her turret, then she gets the recall for free. So that's what I'm pushing the lane for. Plus, I'm pretty sure this guy is running Ignite. So, like I said earlier, if I harass her and then recall and TP, then he's fucked. Like, this is the exact spot I want my lane to be in, right? Kiana started our red, and went through and went up here. And she got spotted by my power ward. And I think Kiana's invading this guy's blue buff now or whatever. I don't know what he's doing. This is like perfect spot for the lane. Until it goes on a turret. But if he like cannot push it completely on a turret and it's like this, then it's fucking great. It's amazing. This is like perfect spot. So I recall and TP to not lose any CS. I got my Predator now. Zoe didn't do that, so she lost cannon minion and like 2 melee minions. So I already have an advantage over her. All I gotta do is not die to her ignite, and that's it. And now, look. This is the big part. Because I TP'd and I'm in lane faster than Zoe, because we are both off map and I come on map faster, I get to push out this wave faster than her. Because I push this wave out, and she has this much CS on her turret, it means that I have time to roam right now. Because I don't lose any CS for a long time. And we're playing Aurelia versus Jack's top lane. So this matchup is really snowballed for whoever gets first kill. So that's why I go top lane instantly. And the gank was a fucking disaster, but it's still a good show like on how and when you should roam. It was a fucking disaster. But even with all this happening, I only lost a little bit less than one wave. Like, that is so little for being away from lane for like 2 minutes and bringing everyone top lane and forcing Jax's flash and shit. Like, it's still good. My Hecarim completely runs it down and thinks it's my bad for some reason, but it happens. He's a fucking bad player. Again, I have push. I push the wave out. What do? I can roam top lane. Bot lane is already getting fucked. I can't roam there. We go top lane again. Motherfucker, I'm the jungler now. And I can only do this because of Predator. How would you look at that? This Jax is Khan, by the way. Fucking... whoever the fuck Khan. Who? Get this random out of my game. Piss on him. And I lost 2 CS for this. 2 CS for roaming top lane and getting a snowball matchup ahead. What the fuck? How busted is Predator? 2 CS for that. Giga worth. Hex05 at 6 minutes. Yes, I said he's like really fucking shit. Also, I don't know why this works, but look. This is really fucking weird. I pop the Predator, and she's behind me, and I get move speed. Look how fast I am. How OP is that? You can even use it to fucking escape ganks. I don't know, it's really weird, dude. Majona's getting fucked in Africa, but I can't move to help him, so I don't. I've got 2k gold in my inventory, so I need to recall. I get the 2 best items in the game from you. Pen, boots, and alternator. Right now I do so much damage. You're running it then the wrong way around. Like right now I'm actually strong. Right now is like actually when I want to roam and get push. Like look, I get push in the lane. Right now I already need to make a decision. What am I going to do? Bot lane doesn't really look gankable. Top lane maybe looks gankable. I get ganked instead, so I just walk away. But that's fine, because at least the jungler is mid lane and not in fucking anywhere else then. Can't really do much because Nautilus lets Zoe get push here, so I can't walk up. You starting to 1v1 Jax this point? No, I'm not. If I don't kill him in one rotation, I die. Because he has more DPS. Fucking Tinks over here just completely runs it down and dies to me. And he did get really outplayed. I don't think he expected me to dodge Kiana ult from Fog of War or from fucking Invis, point and blank. It was pretty clean. But that's 1k. Then I TP top lane, get my portal belt. Get another free kill. Farm top lane wave, because I need to always have 10 CS per minute. Will momentarily facing towards enemies with running Predator provide a net space gain? Yes, it will. I've tried it myself. You just gotta click back and forth really fast. It's really hard though. It's like skilled as fuck. I'm defending mid lane tower because nobody else is defending it, and mid lane tower is really, really, really precious to defend. Because if mid lane tower falls early game, then you're just fucked. Because enemy team can just walk into your jungle and counter jungle you, and you're just completely screwed. So mid lane tower is really important to keep alive as long as possible. That's why I'm trying to kill this wave as fast as possible. I'm using abilities on the wave so they don't have time to hit the tower. Like, look how much this sucks. I let that turret fall and now they can just walk wherever they want. I'm lucky that Holy Phoenix decides to suicide on me just after I bought Magi's. So, yeah. Pretty lucky. Would you go for Amplank Tome and Blasting Wand, or just Alternator and sit with 250 golds? Alternator and Pink Ward. Alternator is really good with Predator. It adds like 80 damage, dude. It's like OP. Fat wave in the top lane. I have no ult, no TP, so I don't want to fight anyways. May as well just take the farm. Get like 160 CS at 50 minutes. Feels fucking good. Team is fighting? I don't care, dude. Oh, Elite, I need to join the random ARAM team fights. No, you fucking don't. You need to farm. Enemy team will throw anyways at some stage. Look at these guys throwing, dude. He just suicided on me again. And I've got 11 stacks Magi's now, and I'm fucking 170 CS. I griefed my flash here, but doesn't matter. Is the shield dead? It feels really bad to buy. What do you do when your ADC goes mid lane and you have to defend a fed top laner who shits on you? ADC goes mid lane and you have to play against top laner? What about your top laner, dude? He's gonna play against your mid laner or what? Just manage the people. They're like your chess pieces. Just tell them to go where. It's really simple. If bot lane tower falls, ADC should go top lane. And top laner should go bot lane, because it's like longer lane. It's like the same lane, but top lane. If both towers are gone, then ADC goes mid lane, and you go side lane and match whoever you can fight, whoever you can kill and pressure. And you should always be at the side where there's an objective. If it's top lane, there's a herald, then you should be top lane. If it's a dragon, you should be bot lane. If you have TP, then you should be opposite side of the map. Unless your top laner doesn't have TP. Like, unless he doesn't have TP, I mean. Then you should be opposite. I like what he's shown to Ori. No, I go Dark Seal. Because I'm a oat milk drinker. So I just completely griefs, so I punish her. She gets forced to flash. Ever not go Dark Seal? Not really. Grass milk. What the fuck? They're using Herald mid, I have to defend it, otherwise we just lose too much. I know if I get 1,000 more gold, I just win the game. Pinging it. Two more kills. Unfortunately, Ezreal chases it, but it's fine. They throw again, like third time that enemy team is throwing, and I can only capitalize on them throwing because I'm really high farm. If I was weak and behind, I would never be able to get them right. And now it's 20 minutes into the game and I got 500 AP and the game is over. We just won. And I griefed this game 2 times and I still win it. That's how strong I am now already. I lost 20 stacks Magi's this game and I still won it because I'm so strong. Should have attacked the Baron earlier, but I was too slow. Doesn't matter. 556 AP, dude. I just die. So I pinged 200 AP as you pinged 500. You can't see enemy AP pings, dude. I pinged it. Nearly 666 AP. That's preview. It's not. It's my perspective, dude. You can see my clicks and stuff. Right here is where I throw really hard. The TP flank was amazing, and it's like really fucking good. And I legit two-shot these guys. Like, look at my damage. This Jax has a MR, by the way. He has 72 MR, and I still deal 1.1k on him. Without ult. But then I just fucking forget Kiana's ult, and I die. How do we match Vlad vs Yasuo? Go ignite Electro and just trade with him like crazy. They just throw again. At this stage the game is like unlosable. I'm so fed already. I don't know about that mana abyss. Do I use runes based on matchup team comp? Mostly matchup, but also team comp. Just rewatch the VOD. Like, I don't want to explain the thing for an hour again, dude. But Electro into melees, Predator and everything else, pretty much. If you want a simplified version. I grief the game again here, it still doesn't matter. I'm still too fed. Watching other mid laners? Not really. I don't like comparing myself to others because, like, number one, it's just gonna make you depressed if you compare yourself in any regard. It's always gonna make you either feel really depressed or vain. But I'll watch mid laners and try to learn, but at the same time, they play a completely different game. Like, I play a completely different game than most people in high-low because I play Vlad, you know, and it's like completely different. Like, sure, it's like kind of similar to Orianna, but it's even Orianna and Victor, it's still like different, you know. So I don't know, I just have to compare myself to my previous self and improve like that. Best bans, whatever you struggle against. I just struggle against Syndra, so I ban that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.